Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News for Wednesday, January 7. I'm Carrie Simpson. A special welcome to our viewers on YouTube, TVJ International in the Cayman Islands, and online at onespotmedia.com. Here's what we have in the bulletin. The trial of alleged leader of the Klansman gang, Tesha Miller, and his 24 co-accused now underway in the Home Circuit Court. Weather expert warns that the upcoming 2026 hurricane season could see more intense systems. And later in sports, Sunshine Girls coach says lack of funding affecting players' development. Now the details. We begin this afternoon with news that the trial of alleged leader of the Klansman gang, Tesha Miller, and his 24 co-accused, including Dr. Paul Robinson, is now underway in the Home Circuit Court. It is alleged that between August 5, 2017 and August 22, 2022, the defendants participated in several criminal activities in St. Catherine. They are charged with murder, conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder, robbery with aggravation, among other offenses. Now we'll have more details in primetime news this evening. Despite a fatal shooting in the St. Toolies community in Manchester this week, commanding officer for the parish, Superintendent Kerry Duncan, has sought to assure residents and visitors that the police will be maintaining a strong presence in the area.
In the space. The St. Toolies River is here for everybody to come and enjoy. But we don't want anybody to come here to disturb the peace and tranquility that exists in this community. The team that is here, as I said again, we are committed to the community development.
Superintendent Duncan also issued a warning to those operating illegal bike taxis in that community.
Way on earth we can put our stamp of approval on something that is illegal. And not only that it is illegal, it is very dangerous. I've had the displeasure of seeing persons transporting 2 and 3 people on their motorcycles. Nobody is wearing helmets on the motorcycles, and that in itself is very dangerous.
Culture Minister Olivia Grange has outlined the reason for the government's presence at the Maroon celebration in Accompong St. Elizabeth on Tuesday. Speaking in an interview with TVJ News following the celebration, Minister Grange says the Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness, remains committed to providing support during this difficult time.
It's a celebration today, but it's also an occasion when the Prime Minister and his team will come back to Accompong to make good the promises that he has made, the commitment he has made to providing additional furniture to the school, supporting the community with the restoration of the roofs of the damaged houses and so on. And, you know, and to show that Accompong is very much a part of Jamaica and that we are united in our effort to make sure that we leave no one behind.
From stronger storms to unpredictable rainfall, climate change is leaving a growing impact on the world's weather. Now, experts warn that the events of 2025 could be a preview of more intense systems expected in the years ahead, including the upcoming 2026 hurricane season. Antonia Atkinson has the details.
As climate change continues to take hold across the globe, the effects are becoming more evident each year. Experts say 2025 offered a troubling preview of what we can expect heading into 2026. Speaking on Smile Jamaica, Director for the Met Service of Jamaica, Evan Thompson, gave a breakdown of the major weather systems for 2025. He pointed to Hurricane Melissa as a clear example of how destructive future storms could become if current trends continue.
What we saw last year really kind of bears, it really kind of vindicates, or, it kind of says this is exactly what was expected. We saw some heavy downpours of rainfall after long periods of dryness. We saw, a major Category 5 hurricane developing over waters in a very short time, moving from one state to another. So we're seeing a lot of the scenarios that we kind of expected under climate change. And, that I would say that really is what 2025 really displayed for us.
Addressing the wider issue of climate change, Mr. Thompson stressed that rising sea surface temperatures and changing atmospheric conditions are playing a major role in fueling stronger and more frequent weather events.
What we saw with with climate change, we saw it having an impact on this hurricane, but not so much on the direction of movement.
Okay.
But it would more be in how quickly it developed and then how strong it was at that time of the year, and then moving into through the Caribbean. The seas of the Caribbean were very, very warm at that time, and that encourages the development of systems. You have to have warm sea surface temperatures before you can have that development of hurricanes.
Experts say the events of 2025 are not isolated, but rather a glimpse into the future if global warming continues unchecked. Anthony Atkinson, TVJ News.
There is a renewed push to reintegrate more homeless people back into society by 2026. Now, that's according to Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby. Mr. Swaby was speaking during a joint initiative between the KSAMC and Hummingbird Charity in Kingston recently. Shamila Pullin reports.
Dozens of homeless people were served hot meals and refreshments, turning the St. William Grant Park in downtown Kingston into a place of comfort and connection. Kingston Mayor Andrew Swaby stressed that these engagements play a key role in restoring dignity and hope among the homeless.
We have about 200 persons here today we're catering to, where people are coming from all sections of downtown into the park when they heard about it. They look forward to it, I must tell you, on a yearly basis. But I guess the whole activity of people dancing, it would have attracted them here, and they are staying a little longer here than the norm. They welcome it. They are happy with the KSAMC Poor Leave Department because they have been interacting with them right throughout the year.
Mayor Swaby says since Hurricane Melissa last October, 10 individuals who were taken off the streets and placed into shelters have chosen to remain at the Hanover Street facility. He says he's hopeful that planned upgrades to the facility will encourage more homeless persons to come in and take advantage of the support being offered.
A couple months ago, we had the minister and myself, we did tour the 65 Hanover Street, and we have seen where upstairs can hold some more persons. Not can stay to hold anybody right now. So we are working on that, and we have been having the discussions. The homeless committee report, no, not the homeless committee, I'm sorry, but the homeless survey that was done would have influenced where the hotspots are and how do we deal with those situations.
Plans are also in the pipeline to rehabilitate and reintegrate homeless residents into society.
The homeless committee has been working to see how best we can reduce the level of homelessness. We are looking at ways how we can integrate them back in society. Is there somebody who probably was a tailor or with a dressmaker and has that skill still? How we can get a machine for them and get them into a state where they can do things. It maybe can be done at 65 Hanover Street. But it was a situation and how also we can attract persons to come and patronize them.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
It is time for a break here on the Midday News, but stay with us, more stories when we return. Welcome back. We are continuing the news. It is now time for the Business Minute.
The number of visitors passing through Sangster International Airport increased during the month of December. A total of 262,600 persons traveled through Sangster International in December of last year, compared with 467,500 in December of 2024. Meanwhile, Norman Manley International recorded 172,300 in December of last year, compared with 177,500 in December of 2024. The Jamaica Tourist Board says the country has welcomed 370,000 visitors and generated $331 million in gross income since the passage of Hurricane Melissa. Further afield, U.S. President Donald Trump says Venezuela will be turning over up to 50 million barrels of oil worth $2.8 billion to the United States after a military operation to remove President Nicolas Maduro from power. Trump posted on social media that the oil will be sold at its market price, adding he would control the money raised and use it to benefit the people of Venezuela and the U.S. His comments come after he said the U.S. oil industry will be up and running in Venezuela within 18 months, adding he expected huge investments to pour into the country. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Prince Moore.
Thank you, Prince Moore, and here's a preview of what's coming up in this evening's Health Report.
In this evening's health report, we look at Parkinson's disease.
It results from a decline in the production of dopamine, a very important neurochemical. It results in a slowing down in the rate of movement, generalized stiffness and rigidity, and oftentimes a very characteristic tremor, which is seen at rest.
That's the health report in Primetime News at 7. And now for today's healthy living tip. Take medications as prescribed. Stay mentally active. Create a safe environment. Do regular checkups. Get enough rest and seek support.
It's now time for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, Stanley Kendrick Stocky John, KC, has been sworn in as the new Governor General of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, succeeding Dame Susan Dugan, who retired after 6 years in the post. At the installation ceremony, the 74-year-old head of state said the country stands at the threshold of a new era, calling for unity, healing, and an end to partisan divisions as Vincentians seek improved social and economic conditions at home and abroad. And on the international scene, the U.S. Coast Guard boarded 2 Ghost Fleet tankers in a coordinated operation, according to Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. The Marinera was intercepted in the North Atlantic and the Sophia in international waters near the Caribbean, both within hours of each other. Noem says the ships had last docked in or were headed to Venezuela, and the Marinera had been trying to evade authorities for weeks. Secretary Noem posted a video showing personnel boarding one of the vessels, including people descending from a helicopter onto the deck. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Aliyah Bryant.
Thank you, Alia, and we now head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your Midday Sports Report.